UW360 is proudly supported by BECU, a not-for-profit member-owned credit union. Pacific Office Automation, copy, print, workflow, and IT. Problem solved.
In Arlington, Washington, there's a startup company revolutionizing the recycling of plastics. As with any startup, it exists due to hard work, vision, and know-how. But the history of this company goes beyond that, because this company was nurtured to reality by the University of Washington. The startup is called MicroGREEN Polymers. About 1/4 to 1/2 of MicroGREEN's raw material is recycled plastic made from water and soft drink bottles. That by itself is nothing new. Recycled bottles have long been used as fiber in carpets, blankets, and clothing. What is new is how the plastic is processed and the resulting uses of the finished product. But before we tell that story, we need to flash back to the 1980s. That's when Vipin Kumar, now a UW professor, helped figure out how to imbue plastic with small bubbles of gas. The process was stuck in the lab, however, limited by small batch production.
We needed a mass production type of a process, and that is a breakthrough that we achieved in my lab here.
The process was patented by the university, but the patent sat, gathering dust, until 2002. That year, Krishna Nadala was job hunting, a UW mechanical engineering master's in hand. He hoped to find a job in the semiconductor field, but as a native of India, the world of mechanical engineering proved less welcoming than, say, software engineering.
International students as mechanical engineers find it very hard to get jobs in the US in the mechanical engineering field. So when I came back to the university after a failed interview, I saw a flyer for a business plan competition. I knew that this technology was sitting in the lab, patented, no one using it or commercializing it.
Krishna is not only good technically and with his hands, but he also has entrepreneurial drive, and we don't see that kind of combination too often.
Krishna and a research partner, Greg Branch, entered the Foster School's business plan competition. But first, they went after the university-owned patent for microcellular plastics. The university agreed to license the patent to students without a dime to their names.
So the university said, okay, we will take a shot by providing these students access to it through an exclusive option. And that kick-started it.
With help and support through the university's Center for Commercialization, the business plan and patent attracted investors and grant money.
And without the university having the framework on how to bring student startup companies out of the university, it would be extremely difficult for Greg and I, even if we had an idea, to say, yes, we should start a company. And that was a leap of faith that someone took on a student team. And that was really key for MicroGREEN, is someone taking that leap.
My joy is really in seeing ideas from the lab, get realized in some useful products for the society. And so for me, it brings my research efforts like a full circle.
MicroGREEN is now geared up for full production and ready to go after its first market.
And of course, we were in Seattle. So coffee cups was the first thing that came to mind, of course. Right?
Using a scaled-up version of the university's patent, the company injects small bubbles of gas into rolls of plastic. The process causes the plastic to expand, meaning there's less raw material used per square foot of finished product.
If the current coffee cup weighs about 16 grams in weight for a 16-ounce cup, we can make the same coffee cup with 8 grams of material.
And it's fitting that a company using recycled plastic is recycling the university's help and backing. MicroGREEN funds several research projects at UW. It's also creating jobs for qualified graduates.
The aspect of funding R&D to get some benefit out of it in form of technology is important, but the greatest benefit, which is unsaid in the commercial world at least, is the employee development that we get out of it. We get really highly trained, very smart young people with unconstrained minds ready to hit the ground running when we hire them into MicroGREEN.
But if graduates can't find a job at MicroGREEN, they can always take a page from Krishna's book and create their own.